Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Mortgage Minute. Aaron Moore here with JFR Home Loans and You Got a Guy, Carson Homes. What we're talking about today is bankruptcies and how it affects your ability to get a mortgage and buy a home. So bankruptcies, as you know, there are, or may not know, the two most common things you run into is a Chapter 7 and a Chapter 13. Chapter 7 is basically when you have to flush everything. You don't have the money to repay. It's more of a personal one. Chapter 7 is when you have the ability to restructure and make payments and make it right. So they look at them a little bit differently as far as the severity and how it's going to impact you on waiting times and criteria to qualify for a new home. So for example, if you do, most common is Chapter 7. If you do a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and you want to do a conventional loan, you're going to need to wait 4 years before you can buy a house using a conventional loan product. 2 years with extenuating circumstances, but most people are 4 years. Chapter 13 is 2 years. Again, you're actually paying people back on the Chapter 13, so they give you a little grace. FHA is 2 years for Chapter 7 and 1 year for Chapter 13. And VA also is 2 and 1, and USDA, if you're out in rural and you want to live out in some farmland, the property qualifies for USDA loan, you're going to have to wait 3 years actually. 3 for Chapter 7 and 1 year for Chapter 13. You don't have to wait if you go with a non-QM. A non-QM is a non-qualifying mortgage, meaning they're more investor loans that are very common, but not regulated by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac the same way that conventional FHA, VA, and USDA are. So these people that offer these programs, we do a lot of business, and this is one of the reasons why working with a broker is a good idea, because we have access to loan products that normal lenders may not have the ability to provide. So with a non-QM, you can go basically day one after you get your bankruptcy discharged, but you're going to have to qualify for more things. You're going to have to prove that you're going to be able to repay. If you're a habitual offender, if you have bad credit but just bad life choices over and over and over again, they're going to look at that and you may not get that loan right away. But if you had something that happened to you, which, bad things happen to good people, that's a lot of what these BKs are about. And we just have to kind of show them what happened and what the plan is and where your current financial status is. And if it makes sense, you'll get a loan. Most of the time, you're still going to have to do 20%. You're not going to qualify for the top tier loans, which is a limited down payment. But sometimes you can. Sometimes we can look at something with lower down payments, but most of these loans are going to be 20% down. Rates right now, across the board are not fantastic. So you're not going to be penalized as much as you would in a normal market by getting a higher interest rate, by drastically higher. It's going to be a little bit higher, but not drastic. So if you have a bankruptcy and it's discharging, or you've had one that has discharged and you just think that there's no hope, you might be surprised to find out that you could get into a home sooner or later. So reach out and we can investigate it and run it up the flagpole and see. There's only one way to know. So again, you're not done. If you had a bankruptcy, you don't have to necessarily wait 4 years or 2 years to get into a home. It can happen. We can get you qualified right away if obviously the other criteria is met. So reach out with any questions. I hope this was helpful. Enjoy your week.